Good evening, everybody. Hello and konnichiwa to everyone in the world. Welcome to MRC Tier 3 live from Japan. Tonight we're at the wonderful venue that is Suzuka. For anyone who doesn't like it, change your opinions and get in the bin. It is a marvel of a track. And tonight we have the penultimate round of Tier 3. Incredibly, we actually have a title decider potentially here. This could go down to the last race, but it could be settled tonight. Myself and the amazing Rob, aka Genie, who is with me today, are going to have an absolute thriller talking about this. Are you excited, Rob? Because I don't know if you can tell, but I am buzzing.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's always nice to be covering these title battles at this stage of the season. Tier 3 as well, it's seen some absolute bangers over the years. I remember a certain Redcar and Fanning going wheel to wheel in Belgium, one of my first comm stints, and that was a stunner. So, yeah, I hope we get something similar tonight.
Yeah, that was my first season in MRC, and I remember it very well. You're right, it was iconic. And speaking of iconic, we've got two iconic title-chasing drivers. We have the one and only Connor Hardy of Ferrari and Mark Dennison, aka Simba, of AlphaTauri, who are actually both with us for a quick little interview pre-session. Connor and Simba, welcome to comms. We'll start with Simba, who's currently leading the title. Simba is 48 points clear, for those who aren't aware. So with 2 races to go, he can wrap up today if he finishes P8 or higher. Simba, how are you feeling ahead of what is quite a crucial session?
I must admit, a little bit nervous, but I'm just going to go into it with an open mind and drive my own race, as per usual.
Fantastic, that's what we like to hear. What's your thoughts on the track? Is it a track you're enjoying, you're familiar with? Or was it one you don't really like?
I love this track, it's one of the best tracks on the bloody game.
That's
absolute iconic figure of 8, one of the oldest tracks on the calendar as well. What better way to actually do this title decider?
I completely agree with you there, mate. And yeah, fantastic. Glad to see you're in good spirit going into this. We did mention briefly there, Connor is your title rival today, 48 points behind, so he does need a win today to stay in any chance of contention for the final rounds. Connor, by contrast, are you looking forward to this track, or are you really just wanting it over and done with? What's your thoughts on Suzuka?
If I speak about this track, then comms is getting taken down probably, so best I don't.
If I speak, I'm in trouble?
Yeah, pretty much. But it is what it is. I'm just here to race, do my best. Whatever happens at this point, really, isn't it? So
we love to see it. That's a positive energy. Love to hear that. Obviously, as we mentioned there, you do need to win today, so no pressure. Connor, I was just saying you need to win today, no pressure. You just got a 5-place grid penalty. What's going on there? Do you want to talk us through that quickly?
Okay. That's all I have to say on that one.
Okay, good talk, good talk. We'll move on. So obviously, yeah, if you can do your best today, make yourself proud. Obviously, you've both had a cracking season, so go out on a high. We're going to cut back to the racing and the action, so good luck, boys. And we'll see you afterwards.
Well, quickly before we bounce, can I just say good luck as well, Connor. It's been a pleasure to battle with you.
Yeah, good luck, mate. Thank you.
True gentleman.
We might see you both after.
Wonderful.
Yeah, may do.
Bye for now.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Right, so back to the action. Thank you to those guys for both joining. That was fantastic. A quick insight sort of during the session. Rob, what's your thoughts on Suzuki? Obviously, the boys have just touched on what they think of it there. What's your thoughts?
I love it as a track. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. I think I described it as the most fun you can have with a wheel with your pants on. It's this first section. This left and right is just a joy to drive. It's all about car control, acceleration control. Just revving the gears to its very limit, and then the rest of the track is just an absolute joy once you get the flow of it. It's I can understand those who struggle with it, hate it because it's narrow, it feels like you're punished for every little mistake, but once you're in the zone, it's so rewarding, an absolute dream. And I hope we've got more drivers in the latter category than in the former tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've just seen Night Shadow pop the first lap in a 31.8, and that's not a bad time to start off with. I echo your thoughts completely in that Connor's just driving around with no wing, by the way, I just noticed. I completely echo your thoughts there in that it flows so well, it's so rewarding and fun to drive when it goes well. Oh, Purple Sector's lost it at the first sector! Oh, unlucky Craigo. Wow. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's a fantastic track, and it's great watching the cars go flying through that first section in particular. Speaking of flying through, the Aston Martins P1 and P2 cars are slowly leading with Melbourne second currently on the low 31s. Let's find someone to watch a lap through and then talk us through a lap if you would like to.
Yeah, go for it.
Who can we find is about to start a lap? Anybody? Everyone's either near the end of a lap or on an out lap nowhere near the end of it.
Should we vamp? Should we focus on Simba? We can vamp until we get to Simba.
What a great idea! I knew that you were the brains of this party. I knew this. So obviously Suzuka has been a feature of the Formula One circuit, calendar even since I believe the late 70s, early 80s. The Suzuka circuit's been around for half a century now. It's quite an old track, and as we've just heard from the guys there, Simba brief touch on it. Very narrow, very old school circuit, and that typically a lot of the drivers like this. Lewis Hamilton back in 2018 or 2019 even did it on Team Radio saying, "Wow, this is the best day. This is the best circuit ever, man." On Team Radio. So if it's good enough for the GOAT, and yes, Lewis Hamilton is the GOAT, then it's good enough for me. So, Rob, do you want to talk us through Simba's lap? He's just coming through the final corner.
Yeah, sure, let's go for it. So we're into the one and only DRS zone of the lap, down this main straight. You just give it the beans down here, and then you're going into turn number one. Now it's a very late braking, but very late apex. You almost want to brake at that barrier. It's at the runoff strip on the right hand there. Now this is all, like I said, about throttle and gear control. That's how Simba does it. So he's down into fifth and a fourth there. You're fighting with the car all the way through. You don't want to kind of put your wheel on any one of those rumble strips because it's so easy to leave the back of the car around here. Right now into this final left-hand turn, it's all down, hammer down. You're looking for about the 50 marker board on the left-hand side. Touch, dab of the brakes, lift off the accelerator, in there, another right, and then you're under the bridge, under the figure of 8. Now you're into this very tight hairpin. Very easy to lose it if you're a bit too keen on the accelerator here. So that's how Simba does. Very gentle, very nice through there. Right, okay, now you're on to 130R in a little bit. Just got to keep it straight down here. Now, 130R, one of the most challenging corners I find, particularly without the racing line. It's got such an odd apex, sort of two. You've got one there, then to the outside, and then back in again. You're just using those rumble strips as a guide. You want to use all the rumble strip if you can on the outside there, just like Simba has, and then you're all the way down to one of the fastest corners on the circuit. You just keep it flat out. The cars will go around here without lifting off, and Simba does that using all the right-hand strip. We're looking about the 100-metre board, brake down in there, hook it in. A bit harder with the new cars I found this last chicane. 1, 2, and then it's quite a tricky bit. It keeps it with acceleration on the quali lap. He wants to keep on the right, and there we're across the line. That's second place, a very strong lap from Simba, a 131.398. Oh, and as I say that, Neil's just gone quicker. But gosh, yeah, half a second faster than the rest of the field. So excellent lap from Neil there as well.
Indeed. So, just having a quick look at YouTube chat. Some interesting comments from some lovely people and Martin. That comment I've just made there will make more sense shortly. We'll stick with Bat Mazer and the beautiful Williams while we have a little quick flu. Hello to Craig People, aka Purple Sector. A proper track, I agree. Manoush, hello, he's calling 4 safety cars. After Monday, I think 4 is a good call, to be fair.
Tier 2 was clean.
Define clean. No, it was okay.
It was okay. With the end, when the rain came, it got a bit chaotic. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, carry on.
Tier 1 was not. But I'm going to leave that there. If I speak anymore, I am in trouble because I'm still quite bitter. Matthew Sullivan says, hello, lads. You probably sang that. Bergen is debating between MRC and esports. If you have to debate between that, you need your hard drive checking, and I'm not going to say more than that because I will get in trouble. Hodgie, let's go. Exactly. Hodge, you are a better person than the person below you, which is Martin Hills, who says, good evening, gentlemen and Chris. Which is why I said, good evening, lovely commented viewers and Martin. Yes. Hello, good evening, one and all, Mandy. Good evening, Gib. Yep, sorry, Mandy and Hodge have pointed out that I cursed Connor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it, he's just cursed me a million times, so yeah. Bergen says, where are the intermediate tyres? Well, you know what, Bergs, if it was me and you, we'd be on the inters, but, well, we're not here, sorry. Yes. Mark loves your onboards, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much, Mark.
Oh, I'm sure he loves a lot about you.
I feel like I'm tripping over my... Well, yeah, hey, what can I say? You know, come to the champ. But anyway, yeah, no, I enjoy them too. They're a bit challenging. Don't try and trip up my words too much. I've got to get the old Kira. I've got to get. See, I'm tripping over my words now. I'm going to shut up and let you talk because I can't talk about myself and be nice. It's physically impossible.
I'll do it for
me.
you. I'll do it for you because I can talk lovely things about you. But one thing I must say is Avinash is back in MRC. He's had a little period out. He's had a few things to take care of. But he's back. He's back in the Ferrari. Forza Ferrari with a gun. He's a team mate. Purple first sector for Avinash. So he's on a quick lap. He's not got a lap on the board yet. So he comes up over the hill towards 130R, which is such an easy corner to get right, and yet at the same time such a fascinating corner. Unless you're side by side with someone, in which case don't do it and cry, as me and Martin found out. And I think it was Thursday. Yeah, in practice, me and Martin had a little bit of fun there afterwards. It didn't go too well for me. Avinash pops it for P10 with a 32.5 respectable lap for a banker as well. One thing to watch out for, the pit exit even here, feeds you out to inside of turn 1. Really awkwardly, almost saw it from booth. Let's try and find someone to demonstrate this. Uncle Sam, we'll watch on board with him briefly. He's one of our lovely reserves. So the pit exit, you'll see on the right shortly, as he pops it into P16. The pit exit here feeds out right on the inside of turn 1, and there's only one line into turn 1. You can't really go side by side apart from that race start there. That could cause some controversy. The car ahead, or the inside at least, does kind of have the power.
Yeah, it's always been my inclination when I'm stewarding these things, or if I was doing a little race brief before, as I used to do sometimes when I was head steward, is that if you're coming out the pit lane, you've got to stay within those white lines. You've got nowhere else to go. That car that's on the racetrack has got a lot of racetrack to use, and so I do think the car coming out of the pit should have priority, and you're pretty much up to speed by the time you're into that apex corner. So fingers crossed we see lots of drivers obeying by that rule tonight, and we won't see any coming together. It's usually just a one stop around here as well, so unless you lose a front wing. So yeah, fingers crossed it all goes well.
Yes, just watching Melvin come through the hairpin there. Melvin, for those who aren't aware or haven't heard his dulcet tones, he sounds just like Max Verstappen. He's also from the Netherlands, and his first name begins with an M.
Coincidence?
There's the triple threat, so I don't think this is a coincidence. And he likes motor racing. There's a fourth thing. Right.
Does he practice on a Sunday? Because if he doesn't, then I'm just joining the dots here, people.
He's giving a slipstream to Baby Hornet right now, who is a good friend of his. Oh, it nearly went wrong there, though. It went a bit wrong. Trouble in paradise. Oh, well, they're just having a bit of fun as two friends. I think it might be Melassa. But anyway, no, he's never joined Sunday practice from what I can recall. So, maybe Max is just in disguise. In which case, congratulations on your first world title, Max, I should say, because obviously the first one you didn't win. Let's move on swiftly. Hello, Calvin, aka Collins Owl, in the YouTube chat. Hello. Sergeant Uncle Sam, let's drop with him. He's relatively new to MRC, or rejoining MRC, I should say. He's not a particularly good first sector, but, you know, he's reserving back in MRC. He had a brief stint early this year. Now he's coming back for some more. Everyone loves MRC. You can't stay away.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. You can't. Once you get the bug, once it gets fun, that's what it's all about. I think you do lots of sim racing, right? Did you do other types of sim racing outside of F1 or?
I did a little bit of Gran Turismo back in the day.
Yeah.
But, not play the recent Gran Turismo. I know you've completed it.
Oh yeah. But
Jason in between has completed it, mate. Sort of 5 from you, but.
All I was going to say, a lot of like sim racing and the philosophy is that I couldn't anyway. You can't come into every race thinking you're going to win every race. That's almost like an unhealthy attitude to have.
Tell Jay Sarge that. Tell Kid Dynamite that. Tell Saviour that. I'm
not talking about those freaks. I'm talking about me and my little wheel who likes to potter around. And most of us. The point is that the majority of us won't win a race, right? When you're in MRC, but it's about challenging yourself. It's getting better. It's about setting yourself targets and then beating those targets that you've set for yourself. And I think that's why we keep coming back to it. That's why it's so rewarding, and that's how you got to keep in that sort of mentality to keep going. Because Yeah, otherwise, if you go into it thinking you're going to win every race and you come 15th, you're going to be miserable. And I'd much rather have fun than be miserable. So, yeah, that's my little mental health tip, anyway, for enjoying sim racing.
I completely agree. We're seeing lots of cars in the first sector struggling to get out of the way. It's very difficult. Let's drop with Giban back in MRC as well. He's had a few stints in and out, shaking it all about, but he's back. Shema Giban. I believe he's from Poland, so hello in Poland is Shema. So trying to be multicultural and not offensive. He's in the Mercedes, which I think is a great car, but if you ask a lot of the other commentators and admins and stewards, they don't like it. I'm not sure why. They're all Red Bull fans. Where do you stand on this spectrum of support in F1, Rob?
Oh gosh,
Dare I ask the question? Actually,
I'm a Fernando fan. No,
of course you are. Forget.
Yeah. No, I like a lot. I like my McLarens and my Williams actually. Mercedes I thought were excellent for last time. Oh, that's an excellent lap from Gibb, P9.
Very good.
But yes, I think I erred more towards the Mercedes than the Red Bull side, just because with Red Bull it's nothing to do about Max. It's all about Christian Horner. I can't stand the gentleman. So yeah,
I completely agree.
That's my opinion on the matter.
Speaking of gentlemen who
you can't stand,
Connor. I'm joking. I love him. I love him really. He's currently P19. He hasn't actually got a lap on the board yet. I fear I jinxed him by bringing him into the comms chat pre-race. That was a last-minute thing. I'm sorry, everyone. It wasn't very well planned, so that was all on me. I'm sorry. I let everyone down there. He's attempting to set a lap. He's in the first sector. Let's stick with him and see if he can pop something in. He does have that penalty, which may get looked into by the stewards later on. Well, it will get looked into. It may get some form of reaction, but we'll see. So, comes out the hairpin. I tell you what, there's so many lines of that hairpin you can take. You can go deep and cut back. You can go wide and just carry the speed and keep it wide. Or you can do what I do, which is keep it nice and neat. But then you're at risk of spinning, which has its negatives. What lines do you take there, Rob, in that tight hairpin?
I tend to go wide. I tend to go quite wide and then late in. It's just all about, for me, it's all about the exit and trying to get on the power as quick as possible through that hairpin, because you don't want to lose the speed going down the spoon. Let's see if Connor can keep it clean through here. He's only got a problem with Japan, like this track, because there's so many places it can go wrong. You can invalidate. You've just got to, every corner, even the last one, is just so tricky. At least he's kept it clean this lap for Connor. Let's see where he comes across the line.
P6. Wow, great lap, Connor.
Yeah.
He's got enough fuel to go again, but the ERS will probably be a bit limiting for him. So, yeah, you might pop another lap in. Let's have a look who else is out there. Sergeant Uncle Sam, he's not running his ERS, so probably not going to do much better. Night Shadow's doing a Kimi Raikkonen and detouring from F1 to go rallying. RS10 in the Williams. Rotterdam RS10. Not sure what his actual name is. I need to find this out. I should know this. Apologies, RS10. I'm going to call you Roger. Roger Dam. Back Mason, the other Williams has retired from the session. He's currently P20. He will not improve. RS10 is up on his lap though. Speaking of improvements, he's 17,000 up, going through the Degners. I quite like the Degners, as much as they are very technically difficult to get right. If you throw the car in, you can easily throw it wide or even spin. I quite like the track. Oh no!
Oh, no!
I said the word! Oh, RS10, I said spin and he spun. I'm sorry. I am very sorry. RS10's been disqualified from the session. I've jinxed it twice because I said back Mazo couldn't go any lower. Well, he's gone up. Because obviously RS10's been disqualified. Oh dear, I'm causing all sorts of trouble. Boothy's had a few races out. Back in McLaren after a few races out. And the McLaren special livery for Singapore and Japan is on the game finally. Quite like it.
Ooh, yeah, quite
Orange,
like
black
it
and
too.
pink. Although Boothy's taking some interesting interpretation of track limits there.
You can round here. Sometimes the track limit. I was shocked by how wide I could go in some places, and where it punished me in others.
We just see Neil's popped in an improved lap. He's gone a tenth of a bit faster, so 1 minute 30.5. That's a cracking lap. That actually really is a ridiculously good lap. Boothy has now invalidated, so we'll move on. Who else can set a lap? Purple sector. Let's have a look at Mr. Purple. Saviour, the man, the myth, the legends, has just told me RS10 is called Russia, or Rush. Saviour! Alex, my hero, I love you, and I love your girlfriend too. But that's another story for another day.
Okay.
She designs great car liveries. For context, she designs Saviour's racing livery for MRCX every Friday.
Ah, right.
And so, it's between her and his sister. So we have to show a lot of love for the family of Saviour, because they are as involved in MRC as all of us. So, to Saviour and family, we love you all. So, Purple Sector comes in the final corners. Doesn't look like he's going to improve on this lap, but he is the last car to cross the line. Oh, he's pissing. Purple, give us a show. Give us a little spin. Come on. Little donut in the pit lane? No? Please? No? Okay. Anyway, boring. Geke Matthews. Guy, you can't go early, Geke. We can't have prediction time yet. We've not got the timing screen. But we'll come back to that. Geke's just keen. He loves MRC, does our Matty. Our Matty Sullivan. He bleeds MRC, in fact. I heard that he actually hero worships Kid Dynamite.
Who doesn't? Really?
I do, personally. I think he's good enough for the actual full esports racing league. I genuinely think he's good enough. Anyone who tells me otherwise, I'll tell them they're wrong. Anyway, speaking of wrong, Connor and Simba, neither of them are in the top 5 on the grid. Oh, this could be interesting. Neil takes pole for the Haas. He's by far the quickest man today. B17, cracking lap P2. Kaiser Sosa P3. Sergeant Uncle Sam on his Tier 3 debut. P4, cracking job there. Baby Hornet P5 with Melvin P6, who's got a grid penalty for some collision. Didn't see it, but we'll hear about it later. Simba P7. Connor also has a 5-place penalty, but is in P8 with Night Shadow 10th and Night Shadow 9th. Gib 10th on his return to MRC. Boothie, another one with a grid penalty. Weird one this. P11, Rob Smith 12th. Ty Clear 13th. Avanash returning in P14. Purple Sector 15th. Sambao 16th. Dak Convertible also back. I didn't mention that. P17. Man 18th. Backmazer 19th. And last, Rasher RS10. He's at the back of the grid, unfortunately. So, well, prediction time. Geke's called it. We need to get some predictions in. Right. Obviously, the title is on the line today for both Connor and Simba. We'll come back to that. But today's race, who do you think is going to win the race? We never get this right, so we've got to get it right today. We always get this wrong.
Right, okay, in which case I'll go boring. I'll say Neil. He's popped it on pole, and he's half a second quicker than the rest of the field. If he can keep that going, then surely victory's in the bag, right? Surely. Can't mess it up from there.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
That said, I just realised we jinx people every week when we say who's going to win. So
precisely, yeah. So,
are
anyway.
you deciding you don't want the pole sitter to win? Are you deciding to curse
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying half a second a lap is a lot round Suzuka.
It is.
Interesting to see what he can do in the race.
I'm going to be bold here and predict Simba. I think Simba is going to... Bear in mind, after the penalty situation's changed, he's up to P6. I think Simba's going to win. I think I heard on that comment stream there just how confident he was in this track and that he loves it. That's got to count for something, surely.
Yeah. There's a lot going on there. Oh, the Rotherham duo at the back.
Yeah, the Rotherham boys have collided together. Is that a case of to me to you? Or... Oh, we had to get that in somewhere, isn't it? They're back and the Shuckle brothers are just here to cause trouble. But we love it. We love it anyway. Yeah. So let's have a quick look at the tyres. I think that's kind of important in the grand scheme of things. Apparently, rumour has it. So, get some telemetry on the screen. Happy days. Right, so, got a mix of hard and mediums. The people who want to go hard early. Neil on pole. Kaiser Soze. Sergeant Uncle Sam. I didn't think of a new nickname. A nickname for Sergeant Uncle Sam. Simba and Night Shadow. Sambal and RS Rasher Dam 10. Whatever we're going to call him. Are all on the hard tyres. Everyone else on the mediums. No one has gone for the softs. I don't know if there's any rain to come. But there's a few comments in the YouTube chat saying people would like a little bit of rain, particularly Bergen. Bergen's just here to absolutely cause chaos and havoc. He's got no interest in making friends. Hodgie says Sergeant Pepper. Yeah, we'll go with Sergeant Pepper. Or Peppa Pig. Sergeant Peppa Pig. We've already got one sergeant in MRC, and that's Jason. And as much as I like to banter Jason, I feel like he's allowed to keep that title with his 3 titles.
Yeah.
I feel like he can justify calling himself Sarge. So, yeah. Maybe we'll call him Corporal Pepper, or Private Pepper. Private Uncle Sam. Let's call him Private Uncle Sam until he's won a title, then he can have something to... Yeah, Corporal Pepper. Fireman Sam. There we go. Bergen, you win. Fireman Sam it is. Until you've won a title, at least you're getting called nothing along the lines of Sergeant. We've talked some rubbish for an formation lap there, so, yep, time filled. Sorry everyone, I am really bad at this. Let's get rid of the graphics, no one needs them. Dak Convertible says hi. Hello, Dak Convertible. I've missed you, Jay. Even if you do cause... Right, what is the game done here? What is this graphic we're getting here? We can't see anything. We can see the Honda sign and no cars. Honestly, I'm on board with... Oh, dear, right. Koza Soze, I'm looking at his halo. Oh, dearie me. How am I meant to show the start of the race if the field doesn't allow me to? Right. Anywho, cars are still lining up, so we've got a little time to wait. Yep, so the cameras aren't working through it, but here we go, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are racing drive-through at the start! Hold on a minute, what's happened here? Neil and B17 have both got drive-throughs and have nearly collided off the line.
Oh, that's...
Wow!
That's tight.
Oh
Yeah.
my word, I love this camera angle for turn 1, this panoramic view. Wow, we've got McLaren rounds, we've got Ferrari rounds.
Oh, you know who's in the Ferrari, you know who's gone round?
You do, it's the title contender. Oh no, Connor, no. Oh dear, I shouldn't be biased, but Connor, I am a fanboy of you and I want you to at least contend. B17 leads the field out of the first sector. He's flying. He's got Neil right up his chap. Sergeant Uncle Sam into P3, the Harshio, both in the top 3. Is Sam going to play the team game and help Neil? No, he's going to push him. Chased closely by Kiza Soze. The key's in the lock, Kiza Soze. Baby Hornet P5. Simba holding position in P6 with Gav nicely sitting in P7. P8 is Melvin, P9 Rob Smith, P10 Boothie, the McLaren duo rounding up the top 10. Flip back to Connor and Dak Convertible. They are a long way behind, but as Hodgie has popped in the YouTube chat correctly, there is a long way to go. Anything can happen in MRC. But one thing that he isn't going to like right now is Kaiser Soze and... Actually, Kaiser Soze Baby Hornet's fight is not going to affect him too much. But, crucially, Simba P6, sitting quite comfortably. A bit too comfortably as he nearly invalidates at 130R. The two guys in first and second do have a drive-through to serve. I would serve it pretty soon if I were you boys. Just get over and done with. You know, if it's a safety car, it brings you back in a little bit earlier. But we'll move. So, let's just have a look at the position changes on that opening lap. The big winner is Boothie. 6 places up from 16th in the grid to P10. The big loser, we mentioned him there, Connor. Disaster. Gibbons 5 places down as well, and Ty Clears lost 6. Of course, we will see a big losing moment in a short while as B17 and Neil have the pit to serve their drive-throughs. Pit stop strategy, so medium hard, hard medium is the preferred strategy. You can do a 2-stop on soft, medium hard, or any iteration of that, but frankly it's about 10 to 12 seconds slower. Would not recommend. B17 has got Neil all over the back of him. Kiza Soze has just made a move on Sergeant Uncle Fireman Pepper Pig Sam. Sam's coming back at him through the hairpin, but Kiza Soze's got the drive on the exit and flies out the corner. Baby Hornet now looking at Fireman Sam. I was sticking with Fireman Sam. Bergen, I'll give you that one. Baby Hornet is very reliable in terms of as a racer. He's consistent, he's clean, and he's proven this season to step up the pace a little bit here and there. And he's finally got rid of that stupid red helmet, so I like him even more for it. Go on, Simon. Hold on, we've got a yellow flag. Oh my word! And Simba nearly hits Baby Hornet. I think we've got a safety car, and the safety car delta's... Yes, we've got a virtual safety car, and the safety car delta has clearly just caught everyone out. There's been a collision further back down the order. Melvin, Boothie have picked up penalties. Oh dear, this is where the safety car glitch and delta glitch is really screw everything up. Look, for example here, purple sector's going past man. I don't know what position they should be in, but oh dear, this causes controversy. Anyway, this is what I was referring to by the front two pitting. Had they pitted, you know, they've now got the potential risk of extending another lap before they can get that penalty served. Speaking of pitting, RS10, Rasher, Tyre Clear, and Purple Sector. Hold on a minute. Oh, pitting. We just saw Williams overtaking all the way into the pits there. Go on, Williams.
Something screws going on, isn't there? Oh goodness, it was Purple Sector pitting for a new front wing, so something happened. Maybe that caused the virtual safety car. Yes. And just unfortunate for him, Ty Clear was the one behind, so he's had to wait all that time for his teammate to get his front wing changed, so he can.
And now he's changing his.
The same. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
nightmare for Team Alpine. They'll come back. That's your team and my team, the Williams and the Alpines, straight into the box, so it's not, for our personal preference for teams, it's not good. But we are underway. DRS is enabled. As you mentioned earlier, Rob, there is only one DRS zone on this track. That is the run from the final corner down to turn 1. Weirdly, the zone has to end actually way before the entrance to turn 1, because otherwise the flaps wouldn't close in time. There's a little ooh from there, Rob.
No!
Oh, Simba's round! Simba is round. I've just squeaked in everything. Right, this is huge, everybody.
That
Mark
was...
Dennison, the Lion King himself. He has spun. Coming through Spoon.
Can I explain what happened there? Because I think I saw the incident. And
Please do.
So I think there was a coming together between Uncle Sam and Baby Hornet, and as they go round, they're trying to come back onto the track. Simba just gets caught up in it and just gets clipped by one of them, and he's sent around. So yeah, very interesting with the title. Makes Simba P14 and Connor P16. Suddenly it's all back on, but yeah, I think both of them have just got to get their head down now and put that incident behind them, as Baby Hornet goes flying past Melvin into P3.
Indeed, Melvin now the big one of the big movers in this race. P4 for the Aston Martin driver, with his teammate P2. I tell you what, that's a big haul of points going back to Silverstone. Lawrence Stroll, I mean, would be rather happy with that if that was real life. Which, well, Seb Vettel did a good job from it the weekend. And yeah, you must be supporting Aston Martin next year, actually.
I will have to, yeah, unfortunately. I'll have to say nice things about Lance Stroll, which is terrible. Going against all my morals.
Well, you say that. You could also say nasty things and say that Fernando's going to absolutely show his pants up.
I mean, yes, and I think that will be the case, but
I'm confident. I will bet my mortgage on it. Actually, I'm taking that back. It's live on stream. I'm taking that back. I'm not betting my mortgage on it. I bet you 3 pints of any beer of your choice that you can get in a typical Wetherspoons, and a meal at Wetherspoons, that Alonso shows Stroll up in an embarrassing amount.
I think I'd take that bet. That's fine.
Deal.
Deal.
That
Done.
means that we have date night, almost certain. Well, very likely to have date night, and I am all for that. Oh, speaking of date night, Melvin and Sergeant Uncle Sam are getting frisky into the final chicane. Side by side still, Melvin's gone wide, but he got the move. Sergeant Uncle Sam... Where's Sergeant Uncle Sam gone?
He went round. I think he just lost the back end coming out of that chicane.
I was going to say, he had the better line.
Yeah. I think he just got too hot on the accelerator, and that's all that it took to go round. He's quite fighty. It's like he's putting it in the right place. It's all clean. Oh, there's an incident in front of him as well. That's Simba round again.
No! I was just going to say, Avinash is flying up in P5 and the other Ferrari, but Simba's stuck at turn 1. He's beached. He's reset to track. We have stated this season, resets to track will be permitted where you are beached. He will have to show that later. However, that is permitted. So he's down to 14th. Interestingly, the car ahead of Simba, I don't know if you can see, is a certain Ferrari.
Yeah.
Now, Connor does need to win today, ideally with the fastest lap, to give himself any chance of this continuing for another race. And Simba started off this race, as we heard from him directly, very confidently. I'm thinking that confidence might right now be a little bit... Christine Horner's leg shaky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that. I feel like that could be him on his throttle pedal right now, and I don't blame him. I would be too. But the crucial thing for Simba here is he does not need to win this race. He doesn't need points today. Because frankly, he's 48 points ahead with 52 to play for. If he finishes P8 and Connor doesn't get the fastest lap, it's over. And if Connor doesn't win, then it's over. So he doesn't need to panic too much. Just keep his head down, focus, and just be there in case anything happens further ahead. So Night Shadow's also had a little bit of a moment somewhere. I might have picked him actually. He's down in P18 currently. We'll go back to the front. Kaiser Soze is your race leader. Got 6-second lead to the Baby Hornets. That is Simon. So closely followed by, as we touched on in qualifying, his good friend Melvin. They are actually genuinely very close actually. Rob Smith is ready there to party in case anything gets lively with his teammate Boothie. Also ready. And Avanash also in the top 6, chasing the front pack. These guys have almost significant positions as Avanash nearly loses it coming through Degner 1. He goes 1, Degner 2, he just keeps it on track. He's picked up a time penalty for doing so though. Gibbard is now looking racy all over the back of the Ferrari. Good to see Avanash and Gibbard back. They're both looking very racy today.
Yeah, they are. Avanash has always been quite quick. He was there like season 1, season 2, I think, back then when I've raced against him. Always a very good racer. Gibbard's somebody who I've loved to see the improvement over the years. He's, he started off, he wasn't the quickest, and you can see that steady progression to where now he's a very, very solid driver, and he's always been a very clean driver as well. So yeah, it's excellent to have him back on track. One of those drivers you really want to keep around, you know.
He is. We've got a lovely helicopter shot of Gib right now. I'm going to give Gib a little shout out here. You produced some very, very nice graphics as a sample of templates that we could use in MRC, which are being discussed and looked at. So thank you, Mr. Gib. Lovely fellow. We've got yellow flag in the first sector. I believe Dak Convertible's gone round again. Shame for him. We've got a pit stop being made by Avanash. He's clearly playing the early game with strategy, unless he's got some damage. Bit early in my opinion for the hard tyre. The hard tyre typically you're looking 18 laps, you can do 20 laps, but they'll be absolutely dead at the end. Strategy wise, 7 to 8 laps on the soft, 13 to 15 on the medium, and 16 to 18 on the hard really. We've got the full safety cars. Dak Convertible has lost it big time in the first sector. Where has he lost it? It looks like the car's despawned to me. So we're not going to see where he's lost it, but it looked like it might have been between the Degners. So
yeah, just before we go under the bridge.
We have a safety car. It's a bit early for pitting, however, if you're on the medium tyre, it's a free pit stop. I personally would recommend pitting if you're listening. Let's just flip back to the tyres of choice currently. So stops made by everyone in the bottom 6. Tyres currently in play. There's a few people in the softs. I'm not going to comment and put people down, but I wouldn't recommend it. Baby Hornet in P2, Rob Smith and Boothie P4 and 5, Gibbon in P6. I'd be expecting them to pit, and then the guys from P9 to P12, that's Batmazer, P17, Connor and Man. I'd expect all of them to be in this lap. Personally, anyway.
It's worth rolling the dice for, isn't it? Yeah, get a hard on. One of the best strategies you can follow. As you said, they last about 18 laps around here. You're going to be doing laps under the safety car, which will keep the wear on them down anyway. It's worth saying though, this track is very harsh on the tyres, and there are other tracks I think where you can get away with it a little bit more. But with Suzuka, with its left-right section at the start, I had wing damage off of turn 1 in tier 2 on Monday, and boy, suddenly it made one of my favourite sections into one of my worst. It was horrible trying to keep the car on track, and you try and do that with your tyres worn down to 60% each. It's going to be vile. So yeah, don't underestimate the advantage you get with fresh tyres around here, particularly in the first sector.
Yeah, completely agree. A fresh set of boots here, worth its weight in gold. Hodgie's saying that Avanash shows he's in the pits, but he's on track. I think that's cleared itself up now, but unless there's an issue here, I believe that seems to have cleared itself up.
Yes.
Codemasters in the A, my usual weekly rant. Sort your game out, you absolute insert beep here, please. Anyway. So, a little bit of trivia time. Who doesn't love trivia? I got called with David Attenborough of MRC by a couple of people last week. One of whom was Manouche, and another was a friend of mine called Jensen, which made me laugh, but I kind of liked it because I quite hero worship David Attenborough, actually. I think he's an absolute hero. So, God, here we go, Rob. I'm going to test your knowledge, and frankly, this is an insult because I know your knowledge is second to none. Which tracks has featured for Japan in Formula 1, and how many can you name?
Suzuka, definitely for one. Fuji,
Correct.
another one. Oh gosh. Now this is where I struggle. This is where I'm going to have to like go with my Gran Turismo knowledge. I can't think of any others.
I'll put you out your misery. You're right. There isn't any.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah,
You don't have to think of Tsukuba, although I do. I love Tsukuba.
I know
stuff,
Tsukuba.
yeah.
I'd love to see an F1 car go around Tsukuba in about 30
30
seconds.
second lap, surely.
Yeah.
I remember driving Gran Turismo there with an MX-5, and that's probably about as much fun as I've ever had in my life.
Oh, we should give it a go.
Or Subaru Impreza. Just accidentally mentioned 2 Japanese car manufacturers, of course. Speaking of manufacturers, how many Japanese team or manufacturers or engine suppliers can you name from the years?
Or engine sponsors. Okay, so you've definitely got Honda. Your Honda and Red Bull. You've Yamaha was a
Yes, Arrows.
big title one. Arrows, yeah,
Weren't they?
Yamaha. Yeah, who else have you got? Well, I can't remember who the Super Aguris were powered by, but that was a Japanese team.
That was Honda as well.
That was
Super
Honda
Gear
as well.
Yeah, they're Honda.
Who else have we had? I don't think Mazda have done any, and I don't think
No.
Nissan have done any.
There's a big one here, and there is
Have
a
I
big
mi-
one that you're missing.
Have I
I'm
missed? Go
really
on,
sorry to say it. Okay,
Put me out my misery.
the team gave debuts to Kamui Kobayashi and Timo Glock in Formula 1.
No, you're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna kick myself totally.
Toyota.
Ah, of course. Yes.
Martin Hills has just popped up saying another one which we've missed. Subaru!
Who did Subaru?
Subaru!
power?
That's a fantastic. I didn't know that. Who did
Yeah.
Subaru? Martin, please enlighten us. Who on earth did Subaru produce a Formula 1 engine for? Oh, it's going to be someone like Peugeot. Well, it won't be Peugeot, but you know, it'll be someone that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
won't expect. Because, oh, what should be BRM or something like that? Come on, Martin, let us know. I beg. Who on earth did Subaru produce an inline 4 with a turbocharger from the rally cars for? Because it's got to be something like a boxer engine, surely.
Yeah.
But yes, Toyota did give debuts to Kamui Kobayashi and Timo Glock in the mid to late 2000s. They brought themselves as a team into Formula 1 in the early 2000s. Funnily enough, with Mika Salo and Alan McNish, of all people, driving in the early days. And then Ralph
Yeah.
Schumacher, Jarno Trulli, also featured for them. But safety car in this lap, or was it next lap? We'll get one more lap. So we can discuss, in that case, some Japanese drivers. Firstly, how many Japanese drivers have been in Formula 1 over the years?
You've got Yuki Tsunoda at the moment, who's definitely one.
Correct.
Kobayashi, as you mentioned.
I love Kobayashi. I really loved Kobayashi.
And unfortunately, the other one that springs to mind is Ide, who is usually down in history as one of the worst F1
Yuki
drivers.
Ide was 7 seconds off of Takuma Sato's pace for the first, like on average, for the first 4 races, and then got dropped.
Yeah. Which is,
And nothing against Sato, but he was nothing special.
correct.
He was good, but nothing special, so that said a lot.
I'm going to say Sato as well.
I might give you that one. Oops.
Go on, I'm struggling to remember any others. Are there any other more recent ones that I'm forgetting?
There were a few, so there was 21 in total.
Yeah.
Yamamoto, who raced in the mid-2000s, again for Super Aguri, and I think he raced for Honda as well briefly. Then you got Kazuki Nakajima, and I believe his dad, who raced in the 80s and the 90s. Then there's 2 people surnamed Suzuki, neither of whom had anything to do with the Suzuki Motor Company, but one of whom, Aguri Suzuka, set up Super Aguri.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then there's Hashino, who scored the first ever point for a Japanese driver. Xavier has rightfully pointed out that Takuma Sato has won Le Mans. He also has won the Indy 500. I'm going to jump the gun there, Alex, just a second. Martin Hills has proven that Subaru powered a team called Coloni in 1990. Hold on a minute, a 3.5 litre Boxer V12? When I said a 2 litre Boxer engine, I wasn't far off there with that guess. Subaru love a Boxer engine, it's a well-known fact. Their rally cars, despite everyone else having a normal 2 litre inline 4, Subaru always go for the Boxer. But whatever. Xavier, you are my hero, I love you. You are my man crush, my German idol. Even more than Sebastian Vettel, I love you. I'll say it again, I love you. Anywho, so 21 drivers to have represented Japan, the land of the rising sun, was, I was going to say this evening, the land of rising fun. Because Japan, I think, is quite a fun nation. all sorts of great cultures there. But speaking of fun, the safety car is coming in. So Kaiser Soze is going to back up the pack. Majority of the guys on mediums did listen to me. I am the knowledge and power of MRC. The exceptions of that are B17 and Baby Hornet, two people who I quite like, and they didn't listen to me. Shame on you both. Anywho, Kaiser Soze will lead the pack through the final chicane. He's going to go early, I reckon, and yeah, he goes relatively early. Simon, he's been caught out there in the Alfa Romeo, but luckily for him, we've got an interesting helmet shot from the Halo. Interestingly, Melvin's dropped back, but Sergeant Uncle Sam is defending and weaving quite aggressively. You don't want to do that, Sammy. Fireman Sam, sort it out, but yes, your teammate behind as well. Play ball, son. Anyway, everyone else seems rather simple and tame. Simba P9 after his calamities earlier could be keen to get past Giban in the Mercedes. Sambo chasing behind P10 with Boothie behind him, and then Avanash and the other title hunt man, Connor. Bergen. Right, hold on. Bergen has said, I can't fault anyone for not listening to me when I can't fault anyone for not listening to you, Chris, when you don't listen to you. That's right, I don't listen to me. You're absolutely right. When I say that the strategy is the right thing to do, I then go and do the opposite. Avanash making a move on Boothie into the hairpin. Wow, what a move that was from Avanash. That was brave. And Boothie's going back on the exit. Avanash now gets to drive from the late, deeper run and is back ahead. Yes, Bergen is rightfully going to call me out there, and I'm not going to cry or criticise him because he's absolutely spot on. I give people strategies and then don't do it myself and then suffer every single week. I am stupid, I am charlatan. So, back down the order, we've got Night Shadow chased by Bat Mazo, closely followed by Ty Clare in the Alpine. And then Rasha Rotterdam RS10, Rasha Gasha, all over him like a mean dasher. Is he going to make a move into the chicane? Oh, what's the very late move from Ty Clare. And the RS10 is climbing the back of Bat Mazo, his teammate. Oh, a bit of calamities between the boys from Grove, the Willy boys. That's not how the Willy boys conduct themselves. Ask Bergen, we don't crash. That's not what we do. That's a Ferrari strategy. Ask Leclerc and Vettel. Back to the front, Kaiser Soze. He's got a 2.5 second lead to Baby Hornet, who seems to be struggling on those mediums now. Melvin all over the back of Baby Hornet. He's really struggling. Melvin's got the run coming out the first sector into Degner 1.
Those mediums really go towards the end of the stint. It's not just 40%, you're talking 50, 60%. They are like little blocks of ice, and like I said, through that first sector, you lose so much time. You're just going to try and keep it together through section 2 and 3, and maybe if he's got a little bit of a skinnier wing, it'll be alright here, Baby Hornet. But yeah, I expect to see Melvin all over the back of him when we get back into the S's.
Speaking of all over the back, I'm on board with Sergeant Uncle Fireman Sam, and the Haas guys are not playing the team game today, because it's quite clear that right now Neil is the faster of the two drivers. He had that drive through earlier and is still caught back up to his teammate. He's all over him like a tramp on chips, or to quote Connor, he's right up his chuff. And we know Neil is ridiculously quick. You have him down as your predicted race winner. Uncle Sam nearly climbing the back of Melvin there into the chicane. But look at this. Let's jump on board with Neil. Neil has got a cracking run out the chicane. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? Sam with a very early weave. He needs to be careful about weaving on the straight. It's such a hard place to make a move there. It's just not long enough, really, that straight line speed there. Doesn't quite get a job done.
You need DRS. DRS is now available. It wasn't to those guys on that lap. But well, let's see what happens next time. It depends if Uncle Sam can keep Melvin within that 1 second delta.
Yeah, the problem we've got now, really, is that Baby Hornet up front. Oh, Baby Hornet's gone off! He's wide! And that's allowed Melvin to get through. Crucial moment for this race. I was just going to say, Baby Hornet, I'm just cursing. He's gone off again! Baby Hornet is really struggling now. And
tyres are gone.
Oh, collision with Uncle Sam! I have to say, Sam was a bit hungry there, if I'm honest with you. He did look for a move when, frankly, yes, we did have a Baby Hornet coming back on track, but you've got to leave room, and it was a bit aggressive from Peppa Pig, Fireman Sam. We have another safety car. So the pack will be bunched up. Anyone who didn't pit the first time round will surely pit this time round, or at least you'd expect so. but you feel like the window for pitting really has kind of closed up a bit. Penalty for Gavin, 5 seconds collision with Connor. Let's just have a quick look at the penalty scenario. Wow, okay, so did have those drive-throughs earlier from a few drivers. We've got 3 seconds for Baby Hornets. 3 seconds for Ty Clear, Big Fat Mather and Avanash, all for corner cutting. And we've got 5 seconds for Rob Smith and Night Shadow. Rob Smith got his for speeding in the pit lane, and Gavin, the naughty boy, the naughty Banshee, will be on the naughty step, getting a good spanking later for a collision with a title contender. How dare he? Shame on you, Banshee. I'll call you out on the stream every day of the week, sunshine. And I'll do it again. Actually, that reminds me, give us a dram of your best Scottish. Just wind up the Banshee, will you please, Rob? Thank you.
All right there, Night Shadow. I tell you what, son, you've been absolutely terrible for causing that 5-second collision with Connor. You need to look at yourself in the mirror. You need to look at Nicola Sturgeon, at Braveheart, at Shrek, all your Scottish icons, and say, can I give you a wee dram of my haggis? And if not, then you're nae fit to wear the kilt, son. Sort it out.
Oh,
yes, there we go.
Rob, should we just whisper this so that no one on the stream knows we're doing this? If you pretend to be Gav, I'll be me. We're doing an interview. Oh, well, rumour has it we've got a live interview coming in with Night Shadow, Team Radio. Okay, Gav! Gav, quick one, mate. What happened there? Do you want to quickly talk us through that collision?
Well, what happened is I was on my Carling Special X Brew, and I was drinking it while under the safety car because I thought it was safe, and I just ploughed right into the back of him. Had to shake things up a little bit, didn't we?
So what you're saying there is that was an intentional crash on a title rival to help your teammate. So typical Red Bull fixing and cheating. Is that what you're saying? Which we never heard.
Oh yes, totally. And to top it all off, I decided to have a luxury Big Mac meal, putting myself over the cost cap as well. So yeah, all the dirty jokes coming out. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Gav. I'll let you get back on with your wee race.
No problem. See you, son.
Yeah, so that was Night Shadow just dropping in quickly to give us a little insight on the race. Shame you missed it, Rob. I know you just quickly had to step out the comms box to deal with a small matter. Yeah, that was quite insightful. Clear that the Red Bull strategy is, as always, cheating. Anyway, now we mentioned the cost cap, let's discuss the cost cap. I can't not mention it. It's wound me up so much. My favourite thing I've seen about the cost cap is people saying wings are wings. And in context for this, they're saying rear wings and front wings should be allowed to fit into your catering budget because if you put barbecue sauce on them, they're still wings. I won't lie, I think that's quite good. But by that same theory, have you seen the state of some of the food that Alex Albon was actually seen eating last year, and yet they've gone over on their catering budget? Is what has been alleged.
I have not. I've seen that. I thought you were referring to wings are wings, as in like Mercedes got done for that 0.022 wing penalty.
I saw about that. I wasn't actually mentioning that, but I did see people say about that too, and I thought, yes.
As in the rules are quite harsh in that. That's a back of the grid start, and then how much do you have to go over the cost cap for it to be a punishable offence? Now, my small point on this is, I think it would be absolutely rubbish for the sport if Max was denied his title 8 months down the line or whatever by a financial infringement that has nothing to do with Max Verstappen. Right? I think that's an absolutely rubbish way to run a sport. However, you do need some teeth to these rules, and you need to make sure that people don't do it again, because if we're going to take 30 points off your Constructors' Championship, Red Bull got second anyway, they'd need to lose over 230 points to get rid of their...
Correct. Although you did just, speaking of the catering budget, you said there needs some teeth to this. Was that intentional?
No, it
was that
a
dig? Were you just taking a little nibble at Red Bull there? And that was intentional?
No, not at all. It's just, it's really odd, and I wouldn't want to be in the FIA's position.
No. I think this should have been sorted out way sooner, like maybe monthly accounts reviews with everyone, and then this could have been dealt with going into the last race. Everyone could have known exactly where they stood. That would have been better. But coming back to that, whilst Max doesn't deserve to be punished for his team's actions, the only way, in my opinion, to truthfully stop teams from doing this again is to quote Ross Brawn back in 2018, is if you win and you exceed your cost cap, you will lose your titles. I'm just saying, as you mentioned there, 230 points. Red Bull are not going to lose 230 points, and if they do, that's not going to cost them an awful lot.
Yeah.
There is nothing they can lose. If Max losing the title is the only way that people would say never do it again. Anyway, that's another debate. Let's not get in too much trouble because everyone will start crying and everyone else is a Max fan. Neil comes around the final corner. Rob Smith is right up his jacksie and we're going. But Rob Smith is right with him. Givan P3 is also right with him. To put the tyre strategies back on there for everyone, so I'm sure you want to see tyres, and then we'll fly through. Tam 1 on not 100% warm tyres. Boothie looks a little bit twitchy there, and I'm not gonna lie, I think everyone else would have been the same. Let's just quickly mention the title, by the way. Gav, who, as we heard from that lovely interview, deliberately hitting Connor. Those two are in P5 and P6 right now, which means the title's back on the cards, especially as a very significant Simba is in P13. So the title fight, as it stands, is over. But if things change a little bit, which they could, it could go on to Spain. Which
it doesn't take much. Neil's out in front on 15 lap old hards. He's gonna have to pit again, right?
Yeah,
it's
surely.
impossible for him to go in the end. So let's put Connor P4. He needs to get past Boothie, Giban, and Rob Smith, which isn't beyond all possibility. Yeah. I think the real worry for those guys behind is going to be Kaiser Soze, who's on fresh mediums. All of those hard runners are going to make it to the end and probably run those hards a little bit further than they want. For the medium runners, that pit stop came at just the right time. Gives them, 12, 13 laps on these tyres?
Which is perfect.
That distance, yeah.
2 of those laps being on the safety car as well. They can absolutely cane those tyres from here to the end. We've got a little fight up ahead between Giban and Boothie. Little collision there. Connor's got to be careful not to get too involved here. He's side by side with Gib. Tucks back in for a bit of slipstream. Very nicely done. Rubbing is racing, as some say, or in this case, a little tap up the rear is racing gear. Let's go with that. Oh, Connor gets twitchy in turn 1. Giban back up the inside through turn 1 on the exit towards turn 2. That was more tasty than a barbecue rear wing on the Red Bull, which cost a bit too much, frankly. Anyway, we'll leave that be. So it's actually worked. Kaiser Soze, as you mentioned now, right on the rear of Gav and Connor. On, as again you said, much nicer tyres. He's going to look pretty feisty and dicey. Fat Maze with P8. Simon, aka Baby Hornet, P9. Belvin P10. Simba now up to P11. He's looking... In fact, he can see Batmazer at 8, which... Bear in mind that Batmazer and Baby Hornet both have penalties currently in this race to apply to their time. That puts Simba one place away from where he needs to be to win the championship, regardless of what Connor does today. Interestingly. So right now, Simba's back in the mix, sitting pretty. Rasha Ross's Hendam is given a penalty for crossing the pit lane entrance. Exit line, sorry. Bit of a weird one, but we move on. Ty Clear, P13, he's got Avanash and Pepper Sam, Uncle Fireman Pig, right behind them. Avanash is having connection issues. No, Avanash! It's costing the position. That's a shame. Interestingly, we've got Man and Rasha are both on the soft tyre. Those are not going to make it to the end from here. Hate to say it, boys, you're both going to need to pit. If there's not another safety car, you're in no man's land. So back to the front, Neil is leading our race, as you mentioned there, 17 lap old tyres, he's pitted very early on the race. He's almost certainly going to have to pit again. I'll be amazed if he makes it to the end. Whilst he's got good pace now, it will surely peter out. Got Rob Smith P2. And the more I see it, the more I think that McLaren livery special job for the Southeast Asia races looks fantastic, you know. I'm a really big fan.
Yeah, it's been nice. I know they brought out the Golf livery last year and that was the GOAT, but this one, yeah, it's really nice. I don't mind them sticking with it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I actually had a very lengthy conversation, and I know with a lot of people, and a certain Red Car Rambo, Ryan Barber, was a massive fan of that Golf livery, so much so that I believe that he replaced photos of his partner with photos of that Golf livery all around his home.
Yeah.
And, yeah, no offence to her, but I agree that the Golf livery was fantastic to look at, and yeah. We've got a little fight going on. Gibbon at P3 currently with Connor right up behind him. Connor is up the chuff of the Mercedes. Looking into the chicane. Can Connor make a move? He doesn't yet. He's lining him up. Gibb goes slightly defensive. Connor will get the slightly better exit. Can he get the power down? Connor very twitchy. Wow! Connor very, very twitchy through the final corner. Got the power early, but he's got the DRS. He's low on ERS, but he's going around the outside towards turn 1. Gibbon defends the inside. Connor goes for it. He needs to be ballsy. He's done it. He's through into P3. Connor needed that move. He needed that. That was vital for this championship. Gibbon hangs on and holds off both Night Shadow, Kaiser Soze. Oh, Kaiser Soze having a look at Gav through the first sector. Taking inspiration from George Russell on the real world F1 stage on Sunday. You've got Boosie. Oh, sorry, you go.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, chose some very odd places to overtake, didn't he, George Russell?
But he made it work.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got a bit of a train forming here now. So, P3 Connor needs to edge away. We've got Gibbon, followed by Night Shadow, Kaiser Soze, Boofy, Baby Hornet, Melvin and Simba, and now B17. So, 3rd through to 11 are all together. Tight as a glove. Whew, it's getting tasty.
It is getting tasty. I think
P10 is crucial for the championship because right now, that, as we say, Connor not winning means that Simba wins. We've got a spinning Night Shadow. And we got a quick team radio here. Gav, what happened there, mate?
I thought I'd spin so it put Simba up a place.
Oh, so classic again. More Red Bull tactics. You guys are ridiculous. I think Christian Horner has chosen for budget reasons to remove the radio comms and sack the guy who would allow him to access the comms. That's for money saving reasons. Simba's now P8. Right, this is significant. Simba P8 means that Connor, without the fast slap and without the win, this is over as it stands. Yeah. Of course, all results are pending steward inquiries at the end of the race. So, yeah, this isn't final, but potentially this could be over. Oh, what have you seen?
Rob Smith, 3-second time penalty means that Connor is in with Neil with a pit stop to come, and Connor is in the net lead of the race as it stands.
That is tasty, but that would also promote Simba with Neil pitting to P7, which... and our purple sector's out the race. Hold on a minute. Rob Smith has had a moment. Connor's passed Rob Smith. Connor's in P2. Connor is net lead of the race if Neil pits. My word.
Yeah, it's getting tasty, isn't it?
This is... Oh my days, I don't know what to do, but my pot noodle that I'm going to have later is going to be everywhere soon, because I'm getting far too excited. Right, so Connor is currently net P2. We believe that Neil does need to pit. Connor's on his personal best lap of the race at the moment. He's a 10th up on his personal best, coming into 130R, and now final chicane. Simba, P8, is fighting Melvin and Kaiser Soze. Kaiser Soze, Melvin and Simba are all on 6-lap-hole medium, so all looking pretty feisty and dicey. Baby Hornet just ahead of them. He's got a time penalty, but those mediums on the hards, well, the hards are slower now, but will come good later on. Rob Smith is just within DRS range of Connor and dragging along Gibbon and Mercedes, Boofy and McLaren, and then the rest of them, Baby Hornet, Melvin, Simba, Kaiser Soze, B17. And look who's coming to join the action. It's Fireman Sam in P11. Sergeant Uncle Sam, the American name Uncle Sam, as people know it, in the hat, the American car. Was that a fix? Well, it was last minute reserve, so no, but some would say it was a fix. Speaking of fixes, Gav needs to fix his driving style after the collisions and dramas earlier. He's in P12. Not going too well for him. He can't play the team game to help Simba from there. Speaking of team games, Avanash, he's had a few connection issues which has stopped him playing the team game. He's down in P16. Oh, here we go. We've got an insight. Right, Mark Hodgson is the man with the knowledge, and never ever doubted him for a second. So, Hodgie states that he's in a party chat with Connor, Simba and Night Shadow. That can't be the case because we've heard from Night Shadow ourselves, but the Connor and Simba bit's the interesting bit. And he says here it's sweat mode, sweat time in that party chat. You know what? Right now, I'd like to taste some of that sweet sweat juice.
Pits.
Pitting. Neil's in the pits. This happens. Right. Neil's surely going to pop a set of softs on. He's going to pop a softie. Connor is now clear of Rob Smith. Way clear, so DRS is no longer a factor. Rob Smith holding up the guys behind him is crucial. We've got Baby Hornet up the inside of Gibbon into turn 1. What a move from the Hornet. But this is crucial because whilst Connor is winning, which he needs to for the championship, the crucial fact here, Simba is P7 on track. 3 cars ahead of him have time penalties, and he is within the time penalties of all of them, which puts him net P4. But even without those time penalties, Simba in P7, that's all he needs for the title. But look, as he's got Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin, Kaiser Soze all over the rear wing, going into Degner 1. Is Kaiser Soze going to make a send into Degner 2? He has a look, wow! Oh, Simba gets wide! Simba's wide through Degner 2. We've got a huge moment now as coming into the hairpin. Kaiser Soze looks so hungry for the move. Has a little look at the inside, like a little sniff. Oh, Berger says great return from Gibbon. I agree. We love seeing some Gibb in action. Craig Creekle, purple sector. He's not happy with some of the action on track today, leading to his DNF. Pop it in the stewards, mate. We'll have a look, but keep going and don't give up. Matthew Sullivan, will Connor do it? Who knows? I'm not magic. I don't have a crystal ball, but I hope that he can. Not to upset Simba, but I want this to go down to a decider next week. We want more of this. This is exciting.
Well, just think where we were at the start after lap 1 of this race. Connor turned around. Oh, sorry.
Boothie and Rob Smith colliding. Rob Smith. Boothie's got positions. Rob Smith has now got side by side with Baby Hornet. Just behind them now, Boothie past Gibbon, Melvin past Gibbon, and Simba's now taking Gibbon. No, Simba's on the inside. He's on the bail out of the move. He's on the inside of Gibbon. He's on the inside of Gibbon. Is he going to make the mistake, or is he going to have to? He's going to hang it out the outside. He's round it. Oh wow, for turn 2, that was brave. There's a man who wants the title. Gav was saying sweat mode activated. I'll tell you what. If anyone had a cup underneath him, it would be full of sweat. You could drink a pint of it. He's going to be absolutely dripping right now.
That is ballsy.
His balls are going to be dripping sweat because that was incredible from all of them, in fact. That all started off with the chain reaction, the McLaren duo having a little tussle. Connor, meanwhile, running away at the front. He's doing what he can. He's penalty free. He's flying. He's fast, and he's doing his bit. But crucially for him now, it's out the McLaren duo, Rob Smith and Boothie, both back in the car after both missing a few races lately. They're looking feisty as ever. Just behind them, though, Melvin. He's got Simba all over him too now. These guys are not done. Simba needs just to keep it clean. He does not need any more positions right now. He just needs to make it to the end. The title is on the line. We have got just over 4 laps to go, so don't you go anywhere if you're with us right now. I can bet Mandy's at home, probably shaking just as much as Simba is. I can imagine Connor's blow-up doll, because he doesn't have a girlfriend or anyone to love him. His blow-up doll is also probably shaking. Tell Connor, I'll shake for you. I'll be the closest thing to a partner that you can have. I'll shake for you. Melvin getting very dicey, pulls away from Simba. He's all over the back of the McLaren duo. Can he make a move? With a cut forward. Rob Smith can't make a move on Simon. Boothie's just got enough speed to hold on to Melvin. Simba's coming. But what's this? Neil fastest lap of the race. This is crucial. Neil. Oh, we got a collision! B17's gone round. Still a collision with Gibbon. We've got Sergeant Uncle Sam, Night Shadow, and Neil are closing in on these guys now. Could this be a twist in the works? Simba's just made a move on Melvin.
P5.
Simba's made a move on Melvin. That's P5 on track. And crucially, that's P2 after penalties. Oh, wow. That's a cracking McLaren dropping Simba. We've got a McLaren off the track.
Whoa.
We've got a spinning McLaren. Oh, Simba! Oh, my God. Boothie's out the race. Simba's had a collision. Oh, we've got a pile-up between Kaiser Soze and Melvin and Boothie.
Is that is that his
Is that a
safety
safety car? No, we don't have a safety car, do we?
Virtual,
I
think.
Virtual. Well, Simba's a full yeah, just a simple virtual. Hodge and Mandy are race engineering. I'm not surprised. Okay, I need a moment to breathe. Wow. For a second, when we were with Simba there, I genuinely thought Simba was going round.
Yeah, same here. I thought that was
AK Sherman Andrew says Carnage. It was Carnage! I genuinely thought Simba was going round. Had Simba gone round, Connor would have been in position to actually take this fight to the next race. So, DSC is back in its box and we're back in the way. Here's the really scary bit for Simba right now. Neil on brand new softs, right behind him. Sergeant Uncle Sam ahead of him. He is in a Haas sandwich. This is not something you ever really want to be, because Neil, as we know, is feisty and fast. Sergeant Uncle Sam has shown ridiculous speed all week. And Neil's all over through with this collision. He just held on, but Neil just had a little brush on the rear end of Simba. This could get interesting here. The following pack got B17 just 4 seconds behind. Boothie has left the session following out the time, and Bat Mazo has just retired from the session. Are we going to get a late safety car? Is there a twist in the tail still to come? Who knows? It doesn't look like it's coming out. We're going to continue. Neil all over the back of Simba. This is the fight we need to see, because this is where the title could be decided right now. Sherwin, aka Konichiwa, is saying the same thing.
If I was
Smash
Simba,
that like button.
I'd just let him past. You don't need to fight.
Yeah, you don't want to risk a collision, because right now P7 does you on track. Simba, if you're listening, mate, just let him through. Play the safe game. No, Neil's just going to go for the side. Simba's got wide. Oh, I think Simba just played the safety car there, was just letting him through. I think he didn't want to risk it. That's the right thing to do. If you want to win this title, that's what you need to do, Mr. Denison. Wow, Neil now lining up the back of Gibbon. Gibbon's 17 lap hold hard tyres are really starting to struggle. Neil's on the brand new soft, 3 lap hold soft, so he's having a look into the chicane. Gibbs just hangs on. There's a collision. Gibbs rounds. The goal. Gibbs recovered, but Simba's now having a look at Neil. Simba's got past both of them, back up to P5 on track. Simba's thrilling overtakes of this day have been great. That was not one of the thrilling ones, but so we've done. Neil has done the gentlemanly thing of letting Gibbs through. There's a nice bit of respect between races. We'd like to see that. But B17, a big winner there. He's got past both of them through that calamity. Back to the front. We've got a yellow flag. It's one of the Williams, I believe it's RS10. Yeah, he's lost it at the end of the first sector. Connor leading by 3 seconds out front. He's got 2 laps to go. Those hards should hang on to the end of the race. He's looking fine and dandy. He's doing what he had to do today, which is win the race. Oh, Connor! Oh, I just jinxed him. Connor just went almost off track at the hairpin. Settle down, CJ. Baby Hornet in P2. He's again continues great driving throughout the season, with Rob Smith just behind him. Look at this camera shot over the Alfa Romeo through the long curving section down towards Spoon. Sergeant Uncle Sam, Peppa Pig, Fireman Sam, Calamity Sam, whatever you want to call him. He's doing just fine and dandy in the Haas and P4 on his first race in Tier 3. Congratulations. He's also penalty free, so fair play to you, guy. Simba is now not in penalty range of the guys ahead of him, so he needs to be careful. And Neil has got back past Gibbon and co. So, shouldn't cause a threat the last lap to go. I'm going to show some respect to Simba and Connor and flip between the two of them on this final lap for 2 championship protagonists. So Connor starts the lap heading down towards turn 1. He's got 2.5 seconds to Baby Hornet. He's not at threat here. As long as he doesn't pick up any stupid penalties in the last lap, this win should be his. And of course, don't drop it, Connor. He's listening to me. He's tiptoeing through the first sector. He knows he doesn't need to be silly here.
He's on 19 lap old hards.
Yeah, he knows the tyres are dead. The tyres are dead. Simba's on 13 lap mediums, which should just be fine. He's a bit more aggressive in the first sector, but again, he doesn't need to take a risk. Let's stay on board with Simba as he flies towards the Degners through this long curving left into Degner 1. We say that, Simba's not taking risks, but he's only 6 thousandths off his best first sector, so he's still got a bit of pace in him, Heading down towards what I call Kobayashi Kamikaze hairpin. I don't know what the official name is, but I'm calling it Kamikaze Kobayashi. Now, Connor is currently in Spoon. He's going to fly through the second part of Spoon, head up the hill towards 130R. We'll stick with Connor for the rest of this lap, as he is further ahead, of course, and then we'll cut back to Simba. So, Connor into 130R for the final time of the race, into the final chicane. Slams on the brake nice and hard, keeps it nice and neat. Ooh, nearly taking track limits for a Liberty there, but he takes it nice and neat in the end. Connor, the little weave, takes the flag, he takes the win. But it's going to Coventry. The Pride are outside Pride Rock are roaring. It's Simba, your Tier 3 champion, who crosses the line P4. Simba is your Tier 3 champion. Congratulations to Mark Dennison, commiserations to Connor Hardy. Both drove crazy races, having both dropped far down the order and right back up again. As we say in MRC, never give up, keep fighting. Both of those drivers have shown today and throughout the season just why you never ever give up. Flicking through the order here, we'll stay on board with Mark and let him have his victory parade down back towards the pits. Connor wins, Sergeant Uncle Sam on his Tier 3 baby P2, cracking driving him. Baby Hornet, once again, ever present in the top few drivers. P3, podium for him in the Alfa Romeo. Simba P4, Neil P5, Rob Smith P6, Givan returning P7, smashing drive. Takes my drive the day vote, I'm going to give it to him. Kaiser Sosa P8, Melbourne P9, Ty Clear rounds up the top 10 with points for Alpine. Sambal B17 in the Red Bulls 11th and 12th. Avanash returning in P13. He had 2 internet problems which didn't help him today. Man, P14. Night Shadow, after what can be said was a very eventful drive today, is P15 and RS10. Rasher P16 rounding up the finishes. Boothby, Batmazo, Pablo section back convertible unfortunately did not reach the flag. Speaking of the flag, come of the man, come of the lion, come of the hour, Mark Dennison. This isn't a spoof interview this time, this is a real one. Mark, congratulations. Wow, what a drive, and congratulations on your first MRC Tier 3 title.
I'm kind of speechless, but thank you.
Well done, mate. You absolutely drove your heart out today. It was quite clear after what was very eventful early on. You drove well to recover that.
I'll give it that.
Well, I'm sure we'll hear some more studio later, but we saw a few collisions with yourself and others, and we saw a few times you got caught up in all sorts and maybe had a few nervous moments, missing a few break points, but you brought it home. You've done it. You have done it. You are the man.
Wow.
We're seeing your comrade and your competitor Connor take this top step today. That's what he needs to do, and all you need to do is take 8th or higher if he didn't get the fastest lap, and you did more than that. So you kept your cool today. What's your thoughts? I know it's hard to put it into words, but what's your thoughts?
I really don't know. It's everything I've wanted to do since I joined the league. Obviously, you start with the race, the podiums, then the race win, and I've been pushing for a title.
Well, you've done this.
I know I got the X1, but it's the Tier 1 I wanted more than anything. Of
course. I mean, this is you've emulated Saviour here in that you've got 2 titles in one season. Wow. I'm dead chuffed for you, mate. Unfortunately, I can't give you driver of the day today. 6th to 4th is a cracking result, especially with your recovery from early on. But of course, you have been the man to beat this season. You've led most of the championship. I don't know if it's all, but you've definitely led most of it, and you've brought it home now. So it's mathematically done. Obviously, pending steward inquiries, and God help us all. I hope there's nothing that complicates this. Otherwise, this is all rather embarrassing. But congratulations. I hope Connor's okay and feeling as well as he can after 12th to 1st with the collision in qualifying, then the various collisions in the race, especially at the start. Connor, I'm sure, will be both jubilated and disappointed at the same time. But we know you guys are both good friends and obviously got great respect for each other. So for you two to go title hunting together, I'm sure was a pride, privilege for you both.
I'd personally give Connor driver of the day. He drove really well today.
He did. Connor was a contender. I'm giving it to Gibb just because I'm impressed with him after today. But yeah.
I'd like to give it to Connor just to reiterate the point. He was he had a 5-place grid penalty in qualifying, and then he'd spun on the first corner. You think you're out of it. To have that mentality, that strength of mentality to fight your way through the field, to come first. That's all he could. He did everything he could today to try and keep this title fight going. So you can take nothing away from him today. It was absolutely superb drive. It's just that he's got Simba behind him, isn't he? And Simba always picks up the points. Consistency. Great drive throughout the season. Yeah, a really well-deserved title, mate. Well done.
Brilliant. Thank you.
You can go and have yourself a beer, a whiskey, or whatever your poison is for the night. And go and have a couple, mate. You've earned it. You deserved it.
I need
congratulations,
to calm down
mate.
Now, that's for sure.
We'll go and have a cup of tea in that case, mate. But whatever floats your boat, congratulations, mate. You've deserved the title, and well done. Good job.
Thank you, boys.
Coming back to stream duties, we've got Tier 4 action coming in a very short matter of time. In fact, it's 8:27, so you've got 18 minutes until Tier 4 action is with us. You'll be greeted with the presence of Connor and Simon, two of the drivers on the podium today, actually. So I'm sure they'll be giving you the insight, and hopefully Connor's in as happy spirits as he can be for leading comms. The Tier 4 action promises to be exciting as always, and then we've got MRCX on Friday, 7 o'clock. Don't miss it. But thank you, Rob, as always, for your brilliant co-comms and insight. I don't know where I'd be without you, because I think you calm me down in a way that others just can't. That's enough flirting for tonight, I think.
That's all right, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's my pleasure, my friends. Have a lovely evening. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Take care and good night.
See ya.